listening to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Brandon Elliott, and we got the beautiful Miss Elliott, Jennifer, in the house. What's up, Jen?
Wow, I love hearing Mrs. Elliott. It does not get old. Thank you for having me here.
And as you can tell, we got I got a little Christmas sweater on, both of us.
And if you're just listening this on, just imagine
something real sexy. Just something like real sexy. Just imagine that.
Yeah, that's not the podcast. Anyways, it's our amazing, crazy Christmas sweaters.
Yeah, so this is the episode right before Christmas. I got a little basketball hoop on me that I'll put the net down. You can dunk on me later. Until then, we're keeping it up, being real wholesome today. Anyway, we wanted to dive into 3 last-second gifts because we know there's some stragglers out there, and you might have not gotten a gift yet for your loved ones, and you need to get out there. No matter what she says, no matter what he says, get out there and get that gift, and yeah, have fun with it. I'm buying you a real estate property for your gift, so that's it. So that's what we get to look forward to. But last year was a bag and other things, and now this is, there's levels to this stuff, and we're going to have fun this year in this season, right? And so we're going to talk about 3 gifts for the last second shoppers that you need for your loved ones. And it may be a little different than you were originally thinking here, but I'm excited to dive in it with you and chat more about it. Anyway, what's the acronym?
All right. So I love acronyms, by the way, if you didn't know that.
Let's not share. Just give the acronym, but don't actually share it, right?
Oh, good that you brought me because I get too excited. Okay, so the acronym that we are going through, not telling you, is T.M.I. And now you may think T.M.I. like the other T.M.I. Well, I'm telling you, this is not.
It could be. It could
maybe
we don't know.
So think that it is that thing, really it's not. It's our spin to it.
All right, so let's talk about the first one. The first one for TMI is going to be for the T. We're talking about time.
Yes.
And so I personally think she was coming up with this prior, and it just made so much sense. Like a lot of us, when you're first starting any type of business, you may have all the time in the world. You may not have that much capital to be able to grow and scale, right? And so you're trying to find that fine balance. The more money that you get, typically you start giving up your time, and then you're running around like crazy trying to figure it out. And then it comes down to elevate and delegate. But time, a big thing for us is we all want more time with our loved ones, with our friends, with our family, to be able to do life how you want on your own terms, right? Mm-hmm. And so kind of creating time, what does that look like? At the end of the day, how, if you want more time with your friends, family, and not slaving over your corporate job or having to commute to some far location that isn't really serving you, what is the best thing people can do with their time?
Or even in your business. So Brandon dropped gold right there that he just went across. Look at him. He's like, go, okay. No, but right where he said delegate and elevate, and really, if you guys haven't heard of this already, the EOS system, and it stands for Entrepreneurial Operational System. And now, what does that mean? That means buying back your time to do all the things that Brandon says, to be able to go on more dates, to be able to focus on your unique ability and focus on what you love to do. And with this EOS, we put it towards not just business, but also within our personal lives too. And within this, you rate a list. If you haven't done the delegate and elevate before, I'm just so excited about the EOS system. So if you haven't done the EOS system, you don't know what it is about, I highly recommend reading the book Traction by Gino Wickman. Let's just start that off first. And I'll
definitely got to watch that, got to read that, got to soak it all up, all that content. It is really, really important. If you want to build a business, it's like the Bible for running a business. It tells you from beginning to end how to run a proper business.
Yeah, so it's super important. And then, well, while you're waiting on that book, or just the second thing to do would be to list out things that you're doing and see what can get replaced and be able to elevate so that you can buy back your time. Let me tell you, and Brandon can attest to this, I used to be the person, I didn't realize I was a control freak until I realized I was a control freak.
If you hung out with her for a little bit, you'll know.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. But now I do. Awareness. Okay, grace. And so with that being said, I just thought, like, you probably heard the lines of, oh, I'm just going to do it myself because I know I can do better. Oh, no one's going to give a crap as much as I can. The list goes on, but they go down to the same thing. It really,
like nobody can do it better than me. Like there's a lot of us that say those things, and realistically, there's somebody out there that can probably do it better than you, do it faster than you, that enjoys it more than you. Like the list goes on.
And even cheaper.
Yeah.
Before you even think about, like, there is options out there to make it cheaper. And when you really start diving down on, like, really knowing how much your hour costs, Brandon can explain to that, but I'm just talking about the delegating and elevating part. And so with that being said, you list all the things that you're doing and seeing what can go out that you don't like to do, and stick with what you like to do. Now it just depends on what kind of season you are within your business and within your life. So yes, there's some things that you can elevate and delegate later on, but maybe in this season maybe there's 10 tasks that you do, and maybe only this season you put out 3 versus like half of it or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a season to that as well.
Yeah, let's talk about it for a second. So basically, you just mentioned something that's really good. First off, being aware of what your hourly rate is, right? Mm-hmm. So a good structure to do and an exercise that you can implement right here, right now, is to look at either your tax return or truly know how much you made last year. After paying taxes, all that fun stuff, what are you actually walking away with and netting? And then afterwards, divide it by 2,080 hours. That's basically the 9 to 5 type of, 40-hour work weeks, right? And so if you work more than that, then obviously be mindful of that and kind of adjust it with how often you work. But for easy example here, $100,000 divided by 2,080, it basically comes out to about $48 an hour. That's how much you're getting paid overall. And yeah, it's important to just be mindful of this, right? And pay attention to it.
So that is the time. So in order to buy back your time she's getting too excited. This is the raw edition. We'll just cut this out. But going back.
Damn dogs.
Okay. We love them.
All right. So going back to this, basically, the EOS model, right? And so figuring out how much you're worth. We have no affiliates with EOS, by the way, either. Like, we're not an implementer. We're not getting any kickbacks or anything. We're just big believers in it because what we've seen after implementing it ourselves is just incredible. And you can do it as cheap as just reading the book and implementing it, like doing it yourself. Or you can get to a season, which we did eventually after a year of, we grew so much naturally after reading the book and trying to do it ourselves. We finally hired on somebody that was affordable, that made sense after doing our due diligence and interviewing a bunch of people, that is an implementer, quote unquote, which is just somebody that has been specialized in the training, education, and can truly guide a company, almost like a mentor holding the meetings on the quarterly meetings each and every few months. And so that just brings structure, the community stronger, the culture is great. Like, we're all aligned. We know what the hell we're doing. There's accountability. There's just so many things that actually like lock into place. And we've seen it time and time again. And so we are big advocates of it and we believe in it. And we just know how much it's changed our business. And we've also seen it in like dozens and dozens of other business owners of mastermind groups that we're a part of. And also like our mentor, Ken, he, night and day difference within his business as well. So all these things to say, like, it's so important. It's imperative for your success if you're running a business or even considering running a business. You're going to want to utilize EOS. You're going to want to. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting time. You're going to be wasting money. You're going to be staying stuck and frustrated and typically burn out over time. That's why a lot of businesses typically fail. A lot of businesses fail within the first 5 years. Statistically, it's crazy how high of a percentage. And so the ones that make it even past that, it's even less. And so it's outrageous. You want to be mindful of this and set yourself up for the most success possible. And we've had a couple people, like we just had one of our implementer within EOS. We had them speak to our community for Credit Counsel Elite. It was impactful. It was incredible. People were getting breakthroughs and they're like, wow, I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me earlier, Brandon? Like, my bad. So we were able to bless so many people with that information. However, we had a couple people bring up these thoughts and perceived, things that were holding them back, thinking that they couldn't actually jump in with EOS. They thought that, first off, you had to be making like $50,000 at least minimum monthly for it to actually make sense. And that's not the case. You could be making $5. You could be just thinking about setting up a business and like you're going to want to structure it with EOS.
For sure.
Building out a team or anything. And then the second part is building out a team. We've had people say to us like, dude, I'm just a solo entrepreneur. Like, it's just me. I don't want to build a team. It doesn't make sense to. And it's like, actually it does. It does, because you still need accountability. You still need structure. You still need to know your core values, your mission statement. You still need to know how to position this so that you can market to the public. And so all these things are just so important. And I feel like people sleep on it and the others just don't even know.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just a very important piece.
So quick thing before we jump to the other acronym, with the solopreneur, it's the best time really to really do it, because then you don't have a lot of voices. You can kind of draft it in a sense of like what you're doing and what you want to elevate. And when you say, or entrepreneurs that say like, oh, I don't want to build a team yet, or I don't want to build a team. Well, it's like, well, then you are the company then. So if anything happens to you, what is going to happen to your loved ones? Your business got to continue. Got to think about a legacy. And how do you want to build a legacy when you have that kind of mindset? So it's just very interesting. And okay, if you have been having those thoughts, like I said earlier, no one's going to do as much as or as better as I can.
Yeah, nobody's going to do it as good as I can. Nobody's going to do it as fast as I can. Nobody's going to be able to do it as cheap or whatever. It's like any of those fears or, anything that's holding you back like that, it's nonsense. You got to cancel that stuff out.
Yeah. So last thing. Okay. So thank you for putting that all out there. What I'm trying to say is I've thought that too. And I'm telling you, on the other side, what I can tell you on the outcome of it is that I was able to not only get back my time, I get to hang out with Brandon more, and plus I get to do things that I actually enjoy doing. And that's really the beauty of it.
Yep.
And so
you want to be in your lane that like you feel comfortable with, your God-given talent, so that you can just like blossom into that. And it feels good. It feels really, really good. When you are just starting out as an entrepreneur, like you have to wear all hats. Originally, like you have to do the bookkeeping, the tax filing, you have to do the sales, the marketing, you have to build out the fulfillment. You got to do it all. And it is frustrating because you're not going to be good at all of it. You're going to suck like really bad in certain areas. And that's why it comes down to like, once you start making some money from this, it's time to elevate and delegate and find out what you're really good at, where you should be, and then find other people, like find the areas that you suck at as well and that you need some help at.
that's very good.
And find other people that are going to love it, that are going to crush it, and that can be affordable so that you can outsource that, elevate and delegate and get it out of your way so that you guys can all grow together. But hiring on somebody, it's like, trust me when I tell you, we've gone through, I don't even know how many people. We go through probably almost a dozen per year now. And it's just because we're aggressively growing. And we've had plenty of people, and we still do, like people that have been with us for years as well. And so it's like the culture's good. It's also, we've had a lot of people throughout and you make mistakes. Like we've made a billion and one mistakes. And so you keep making mistakes, you keep learning from those mistakes, you keep on getting better and better and improving. But I think EOS is something that if you're thinking about a business, starting one, growing one, scaling one, like do yourself a favor, at least consider it, like read the book. If something connects, like
it sucks, but at least try.
It's so worth your time. Like honest to God, it is the Bible for business. That's just what it is. Like,
Period.
I don't know what else to say. All right. So number 2 out of this acronym for T.M.I. I'm curious. You guys know the first one. That's time. For M, what is it? What would it be?
Mindset.
That is going to be money. I'm just kidding.
Mindset is money. Honestly, okay, I like that gameplay because mindset equals money, because your mindset is
So important.
It is so important and so vital for your success. And whether that's like you see that through monetary items like money, or whether you're seeing it through just even in life. And with the right mindset, you hear this a lot too. It's like,
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, they say it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And so that mindset is like, it's everything. And so we've seen it even just like coaching so many people. We've helped out thousands of people at this point. We have over 350 members in Credit Counsel Elite right now. And what we've seen is the people with the proper mindset. First of all, it's like contagious. You want to be around them, and they're just like gravitating like all the good energy. In addition to it, they're succeeding. Even when there's a tough day, like they choose to make it a good day.
yeah.
And we all have a choice. Most of us spend our time with like negative Nancy, or like thinking about all these horrible things and forgetting to really soak up the good and have gratitude in the moment. And so I think it's just so important for you to succeed. You're going to have to find the good in all horrible circumstances. That's just what it is.
Yeah, you got to do your best. That's like, honestly, I think one of the biggest things is whatever situation that you're in, if you can find the gold in it, then you'll make it far.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to count your blessings and then you just point out, it's easy for us actually how our brain works to go to the negative side.
Sure.
And so with that being said, that doesn't mean that you can't rewire your brain to shift on the positivity of things. It's just little baby steps every single time. And then you're going to reach that one point when something crappy does happen, because it will happen
Daily.
or whatever season you're in. And it'll just get better over time. And I'm going to tell you this, when it comes to mindset, Brandon pointed out really good things here. Like one is like your setting. And so who you surround yourself with is so key with this.
They say like you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most. It's true. That's why we're addicted to being in mastermind groups, because we're around other like-minded individuals that care about their future and that are succeeding already. It's like they're not settling for less. They want something bigger and better. Even till the day they die, it's like they're going to be 80, 90 years old, still fighting for something bigger and better. I love it.
And honestly, like, again, to this point, a second thing I want to leave before we move on to the next acronym is just giving yourself the grace of messing up. And so what does that have time with mindset? Well, again, life happens. You're going to make a mistake. I've made mistakes. He made mistakes. We have all made mistakes.
I don't make mistakes.
Okay.
Simmer down.
But really, all of us has made mistakes, and the mistakes lead you really to your end goal.
Yeah.
And so it's not just the good things, it's really the mixture of good and lessons. Let's just call them lessons, okay? Lessons move you closer. And so
yeah, trying to fight each and every day to make the best version of yourself, it's important. And they also say, like, you know, motivation is like a shower. You need to get it every day to really be able to like recenter and make sure that you're focusing on the bigger picture and having alignment, right? And so dialing in that stuff, it's very, very important if you are truly determined to succeed. Like, how bad do you want it is a question you should ask yourself. And then second, are you willing to do whatever it takes to get there? Like, are you willing on the crappy days to still put on a smile and find the good in the situation, even when you don't want to show up, when you don't want to be present, when you don't want to be there? Are you still willing to give it all you got because you know it needs to be done? So,
and we've been there. Okay. And speaking from our own experience, just reminding ourselves of like through every storm, there's going to be a rainbow. I know that's freaking cheesy.
Shit, I was there the other day. Like, I didn't want to show up to a meeting the other day. And I was like, I know I need to show up to this meeting. But at the same time, I was like, I don't want to be at this damn meeting. It was just like, it was a tough day and it was a tough moment. And I was like, for our internal level 10 EOS meeting, surprise, those are mandatory. They're non-negotiable. And if I'm the leader saying, I don't need to be there, it's like, it's going to mess up the culture. Like, there's no excuses to it. I would have fired my damn self at that point. It's like, you can't do those things. So it's even in those moments, you got to show up, be present, and because you're committed to the bigger picture. Just because there's a season or a moment in time,
so good,
that you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I committed to it in the beginning. I'm going to see it out to the end. And so it's very important. Anything else you want to leave on it?
I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm very proud of you for that. Just showing up. Really good.
All right, let's talk about the last one.
From T.M.I.
What is the I, guys?
What is the I?
What do you think it could be?
It could be anything, honestly.
It could be anything.
The I is a vowel and it has a bunch of things.
It could be, I don't know. Acronym.
Okay, well, actually, it's investing. It's about to get real spicy.
Yeah. So let's talk about money for a second. It's one of those topics. It's one of those discussions that most people tighten up. They tighten up a little bit. You're puckering up maybe a little bit now, and that's okay. Most conversations around money, it's not happening around the dinner table. It's not when you were growing up. It's not easily discussed. And so there's limitations. There's fear around money. There's, statistically, like I think it's like 50 or 70% of divorces happen over issues with money. And so that's like a big telling sign of like, holy cow, like, can't there, like, I understand stress or, stocks going down or crypto messing up and whatever, but it's like, even if you're homeless, like, you have each other, right? But there's a lot of burden and fights and hatred and all these other things that start to occur. And so it comes down to really asking yourself, what do you know and believe about money? And so what I realized when I was growing up, like, and my circumstance could be completely different than yours, right? Like, there's a lot of families that had like the husband and wife, like mom and dad in the house, and they were fighting about money all the time or not having enough of it and all these things, right? And so my limitations around money, just because I had my mom, a single parent mother, like we had help with local churches around holidays and so forth, and local schools with presents and stuff around holidays. My mom did an amazing job somehow on fixed income, on Section 8 and Social Security. But at the end of the day, it doesn't pay much. So it's like, how the hell you do it? I don't know. But she made it work. And so a lot of, that 8, 9, 10-year-old self growing up, when all these like things start happening and you don't realize until you're older, you look back and you're like, these were some things that actually built my mindset around whatever. And so the big topic around money, you could be asking yourself, like, what do I think about money and how do I feel about it? And the big piece behind it, you gotta realize is, like, for me, it was always not having enough, or like, are the lights going to get turned off, or like, are we going to have enough money for rent type of thing? And because we still want to do these things, or keeping up with like my friends that had dirt bikes and quads. Like, I wanted one of those really bad, I wanted to have my own so I could ride with them. And so when you start growing up and realizing that we all, even if you're rich, even if you grew up with a ton of money, there's some kind of belief around money. And so you got to ask yourself those things and realize, where is your mindset around money? Most of us are making all of our decisions around money. We put all of our thoughts and decisions and what we're going to do, our action behind money, above us. And so therefore, the money is just like playing you like a damn puppet. And it's really sad because a lot of billionaires and people that are extremely wealthy, and not just rich, but like wealthy mindset, they are putting the money beneath them, not over top of them, controlling them, but beneath them, and they control it, and they put the money to work, and money comes and it goes, and you live in abundance. And so I think it's really important and imperative for any type of success to realize, like, to be able to have an abundance mindset around finances and money, and to be able to, toss that bad boy out there and demand it to come back like a boomerang, and put, like Mr. Wonderful always says, like, he puts his dollars to like little army workers, like, go out there and make me some more and bring it back to Papa type of thing. Like, when you have that mindset, like, that's exactly what it's going to do. And you'll make mistakes, you'll learn from it, but you're always going to learn. You're always going to get an ROI if you have that mindset. And so investing into yourself is going to be always the first spot.
That is so good. So many gold getting dropped over there. Now, when it comes to really in investing, I do want to share, we have another motto is scared money don't make no money. All right. Let me tell you what that means. And coming from a wife and significant other, now, if Brandon was afraid of like investing, whether it's in ourselves, but let's just talk about investing in real estate. If he was scared of investing in real estate, we wouldn't have the life that we have now.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't get to have the experience that we got to experience together.
Yep.
And so that's just one aspect of the business. And if he didn't invest, like if we both didn't invest in ourselves, in whether it's through financial literacy, whether it's through like the masterminds that we're part of, or just even investing ourselves for even the thing that we did, the retreat we did with Brave Soul, Philip McKernan.
Yep.
All these things it is so important. It is so vital. It is so important. I know we can.
It all adds up. If like we look back at our life each and every year, it's like there's pivotal moments that it all turns back to an investment. It's an investment in our time and our money to get into certain rooms, certain locations around the world, even, so that it could make us better connections and better resources and better human beings ourselves to be able to deal with certain things.
Yeah. And
crazy.
And even the lifestyle. I want to also go back to that. Like, again, scared money doesn't make any money, and it's not going to help your loved ones around you. Again, if we did not invest in real estate, if we did not invest in ourselves, like, yes, we're having the experience of the traveling. Well, we're not talking about like our family members that we've helped with their homes or having to pay for certain things like to help out our family. It's like we wouldn't be able to do that without actually investing ourselves and, reinvesting our money.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
I think this is really important too, because I was talking to somebody today and like he wants to desperately get into real estate, but I can tell there's fear behind it. And he's been a realtor for a long time. He's been making good money, making $250,000 a year, doesn't need all that, but is making that and still feels tight, still feels like, how can I do it? Like, maybe I just need a couple more years. It's like, dude, you've been giving up all your investment opportunities to all these other investors. They're taking action on it and they're capitalizing, making $100,000 off each one. Like, why don't you've been wanting to do it? You're going to keep living with regret. But it's limitations. It's like that 10-year-old self that haven't been able to trust the process, trust yourself. Yeah, and so you got to trust yourself. You also got to realize that what is the worst case that could happen? Like, trust me, like, it's very, very rare that the worst case will actually happen. And we've been in circumstances when you invest heavily in yourself and you're constantly investing into other people and people make mistakes. And so it is common. Eventually it will happen. There was an investment years ago that I invested in that ended up not being good. And it ended up, and they're in court right now, like going to, settling on something else. That's on them, and that's, God forbid, like, terrible on their situation, but they did many investors wrong. And there's other people, like we've invested a bunch of money this year too, and some of those people are making mistakes. And so it's like things will take place. But at the end of the day, you got to keep on investing. You got to keep on trusting the process, and you're not going to hit gold every single time, but it's more likely that you will succeed. You will prosper and push forward. And the people that are like too chicken to do that, they will always be on the sidelines. And there will be people like us that eat the dinner plate, you know? And so we've been able to build the life that we wanted to live by our own design, because we wanted it that bad. Like I was addicted. I was so tired of how I was living, and I didn't want anything else to do with it. And so I was determined to succeed. I was determined to at least try a different, I was willing to fail epically. And I literally, like, I remember, like, gives me goosebumps almost feeling it. Like, I remember when we lived in a really crappy apartment, an old apartment, like these, the windows were like old 70s glass, that like paper thin.
The green vinyl
It's yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was disgusting, nasty, very cheap though, right? And so this outdated apartment where we first were living, and you know, I was on house arrest and all this other stuff. I was tired of living how I was living, and I was saying to myself, because I was, you know, for 4 hours every single day, no exaggeration, every single day while working 2 restaurant jobs full time. I was studying for 2 years to try to get into real estate. I was like getting overly educated stupidly. And then I still made all the mistakes. But the thing is, because when you actually implement these things, it's like, okay, well, now there's no exceptions. I made all the exceptions of like, well, I know I'm not supposed to pay them up front, but they seem like good people, you know, like stupid things. But anyway, going back to it, it's like, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Where am I going with this?
About like, even though you learn everything, you still made mistakes from it.
Yeah, it's if you gotta invest in yourself. And so at the end of the day, I was to the point that I was just like, enough is enough. I'm willing to fail doing this, going all in and in real estate and fail epically on it instead of wasting any more time. Because I already felt like I was failing in my own life right there. And so I was like, I'm not going to waste another year or 2 that go by. I'm willing to just jump in right now and fail forward. And so it's crazy when you think about immigrants, when they come over here, they prosper in so many ways, typically. Not everybody, of course, but like typically for the simple fact that their mindset is determined to, hey, I'm going to start my own business doing this or doing that. And it's like their culture already has the proven process and plan of, you know, somebody else that they know that looks just like them came to America and started this business and became successful. So they already saw like, oh, that person looks just like me. If they can do it, I can do it. And that one, and that, like all these people. And so it's like, but they're determined because of what they've already been through is already hell. It's like anything can be better. And if I get this opportunity to have something better, I'm not going to waste it. And so like that guy that I was talking to earlier today, I feel bad for him because it's almost, you get spoiled to a certain degree, like $250,000 a year. But still on the sidelines, not chasing his dreams. And so I just encourage you, like, don't let your dreams pass you by. Fix the mindset, invest in yourself. And if you want to actually start a business or grow and scale a business, focus on EOS because that's the only way to do it. But really investing in yourself when like we demand the ROI to come back. And we have had several things not come back, and that's okay because we're learning from it. That's the ROI that we're getting on those. It might not be financial, and it might not be in that season. It might be a connection or a network later on. But at least I will demand that I learn from it, and I won't make that mistake again. And trust me when I tell you, we'll still get some kind of financial ROI from it later as well. I promise you that. It's just like you demand that and you focus on it, it's going to be attracted to it. And so
I wanted to add onto this when he's talking about like your mindset on not just finances, but really investing. So that's all in together. And so there's a deeper layer to that of like not just your 10-year-old self, but then also generational curses that has been from beyond your 10 years old, that beyond your parents, like all of that. And so one of the books I highly recommend that we love and that we have like our team members like read is Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T.V. Harker. Harvard, I hope I'm saying right, but it's TV or TK. So anyways, but Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, it's such a good book because it really dives deep into everything that we're talking about when it comes to investing and like your mind on finances and really understanding like where it stems from. And so, yeah, I really wanted to share that.
Good. It's really important.
Very important. And so now tying it all back, let's repeat for TMI. We have time. In order for you to buy back your time with your loved ones, okay? EUS, setting that system, right?
Yeah.
And whatever you're just starting out, in the middle, or you're an experienced business owner.
Let me talk to the fellas for a second too. Just in case, guys. Just in case.
I'll come back.
All right, because this is really important. A lot of us, when you're first getting started in business, or maybe you're just like, you've been doing this and you haven't realized, but you're in this routine, this rabbit hole, right? And you haven't acknowledged it yet, but it's separating you from your family. It may be because you're sacrificing your family. You're working your ass off, and intentionally you're saying to yourself, you're speaking in the mirror and you're saying it in your heart, and you believe they understand it and they think the same thing. You're saying, look, I'm working my ass off over here. I'm doing the best that I can to put food on the table, get the cars, get the vacations, pay for the schooling and all those things, right? And make you guys happy and fill up the bank accounts, all those things. So you work your butt off to do so, and it feels good as a man, but then you're sacrificing your family because you're not giving them the attention and the time, okay? If money wasn't a situation, you would have time, right? And then ideally you're spending it with your loved ones and building a connection and experiencing things, right? And traveling the world. Instead, we make this bullshit type of excuse to ourselves saying that like, oh, I'm working my butt off. You know, I can't work 40 hours. I have to wake up at 6 a.m., start working, and then I don't end till 10 or 11 p.m. I never see the kids. I never get to spend time with my wife. And then you wonder why you guys are growing apart and separating, and there's fights or conflict going on. When we first got started, there was a season that we started going into that I was just working to try to get us out of that. You know, I didn't want to work 2 jobs anymore. Like, I didn't want to do those things. And once I let go of 1 or 2 jobs, it was scary. It was really, really terrifying. And it's going to be the exact same thing for you, I promise. And I know you don't want to hear that. You want to make it sound like it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows. But guess what? This too shall pass. You're going to be okay. You're going to work your butt off, but you also want to do it strategically. And you don't want to sacrifice what you have, because right here is going to give you, like, she gives me the motivation, she gives me the inspiration, and she gives me the recharge when I need it to be able to go, you know, get refreshed, and then the next day wake up and conquer again, okay, and go out and get that meat, you know. But it's like, if you're doing it 24/7 and you're sacrificing this, I'm telling you, it's not the way to go. And a lot of guys need to hear that, because it's very typical for us to do that BS and tell ourselves those lies. And trust me, it is a lie. That's not what she wants. Okay.
That was so good. That was like very passionate. So going back, if you guys didn't take it all in, for T is time. So EUS, to delegate and elevate. And M for mindset. I don't know if we touch base on that, why that actually, you know, connects with your loved ones. Your mindset, like your family around you, but we were talking about that, or anybody around you, they're going to get your energy. Yeah. And really, one of my favorite quotes of all time is lead by example. And so with that being said, your mindset. And then lastly, investing in yourself and taking the chance of investing in real estate, whatever it is, whether it's for personal growth or business growth, it is needed for your loved ones. As I'm telling you, this has not only, brought fruit to Brandon and I, but also our family members and our friends around us. So hopefully you got all of that. And
If you didn't write it down, that's on you. That's on you. You're going to have to replay it. Run it back. That's on you. You should have written that down.
But look, either way, it's here for you. And if you need to remind yourself again, by all means, go ahead and listen to this episode, because it truly, just remember, TMI.
TMI, baby.
TMI. Your loved ones are going to love you even more.
Time, mindset, and investing in yourself, in your future, in your finances, in your family. Like, invest in yourself. Trust me, it's the best investment to get into. And obviously, like, put that money to work. With that being said, to kind of wrap up everything, guys, this is the end of the year. What you're going to want to do right now, if you haven't actually checked out what the heck we're doing at creditcounselelite.com, I don't know what you're waiting for. You're going to want to do that right here, right now. Go to creditcounselelite.com. There's a quick 5-10 minute video on there that explains more about what the heck we do. But a quick rundown here, we're helping people get out of that 9-to-5, or even like if you have that business idea, if you have a business, if you want to start one or grow and scale one, we're showing you nationwide how to be able to get up to $500,000. This can be repeated per person every 6 months. It's an option, and
Powerful.
And it's incredible. And it's rates as low as 0%. The 0% is anywhere from 6 months to 22 months. Typically, on average, is about 18 months. That's a lot of opportunity, and every 6 months you can get more of it, that you can kind of like invest in yourself, invest in opportunities, grow and scale, diversify, and set yourself up for success. So we're showing you how the banks and lenders are judging you, how to fix credit, and afterwards, how to boost up your score, get to the 800 club. You can do so in as little as 30 days after your credit is actually cleaned, and then being able to get up to a 90% approval odds, which is incredible. Like, we have bank relationship managers on standby to help you out with your applications so that they work directly with underwriting and can truly help you secure massive amounts of funding, higher limits, sign up bonuses, like 5 to 15 grand of free cash. So it's like, it's just wild stuff. I want to be able to bless you with that as a Christmas gift. Literally, just go to creditcounselelite.com. That's www.creditcounselelite.com, and watch that quick video, fill out your info, schedule a Zoom call with either myself, which I'm happy to jump on a call with you. Just let us know that you were watching this podcast episode with Jen and Crazy Brandon with our Christmas sweaters on. But seriously, I'll jump on a Zoom call with you. Somebody on our team, one of our assessment coaches that have been trained up to explain more, can jump on a call with you to just go over where you're currently at. Like, where are you at right now? What are you struggling with? And what are you looking to go? Like, where do you want to be in the next 12 months? And then afterwards, if it makes sense, we can explain what it looks like to actually work with us. And if it's a good fit, we would love to give you that opportunity. But otherwise, we'll give you a bunch of free resources that you can take action on this yourself to be able to get better results in faster times, and get a ton of business credit, 0% interest, liquidate it into cash. We'll show you how to do that. And then travel hack. Like, we got addicted to traveling, and we wanted to save as much money, so we learned how to travel hack, and you can too, and we'll show you how to do it. And so trust setup, bookkeeping, tax filing, tax preparation, real estate lawyers. We talk a lot about real estate. We also cover infinite banking structures, so you can put your money to work and so forth. 1,000,001 different ways. We are a one-stop shop, and it's something that you're not going to want to miss out on. Our community is on fire, and we're looking to grow and scale and help out more people just like you.
So basically what he's saying is FIRE, and it's an all-in-one place credit solutions for you. So
don't be a fool.
Don't be a fool. And lastly, we wish you a wonderful Christmas and praying this holiday season.
I thought you were going to sing to him. Do you want to sing? We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year. But we will have another episode before the New Year. So.
Or will we? Who knows?
No, we will.
All right.
Anyways, wanted to say, if we don't see you.
Yeah. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas. We love you guys so much and appreciate just reflecting this whole year. It's been incredible. And we're very grateful for each and every one of our subscribers.
Not subscribing. No, I'm just kidding. We're
Not
very
grateful
grateful.
for
No,
I'm
so grateful for you. Really.
No, but we love you guys. We appreciate you. And again, I want to work directly with you. So go to creditcounselelite.com right now and we'll see you guys on the inside. Okay. Love you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Anything else you want to say?
We love you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. See you guys. God bless.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining. Until next time, God bless.